This early morning, let us explore or review Bengali crease counting, and then let's meditate. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is brought to you by the kind-hearted folks who help support this channel on Patreon. This morning, we could chant and meditate and enjoy a lesson or two. But first, if you love Star Wars and you wish to meditate as transformatively as young Luke Skywalker on Dagobah under the guidance of Yoda, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell. Good news. If at any time during this morning's live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. So I'm going to tap button 5 by way of introduction. So when we come, as we inevitably should, to our first silent meditation practice, in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you'll find a phrase which could seem rather cryptic. First collection of 18 sets, take 2. First collection of 16 sets of 16 rounds. That is what we're going to explore for this morning's opening lesson. So, if you have remotely perfectionistic tendencies, or if, like me, you have autism, you might find this a little overwhelming. So allow me to set your mind at ease. If you do not do this perfectly the first time, I promise the earth will not open up and swallow you whole like a great Venus flytrap. This method is neither forbidden by the Buddha nor taught by the Buddha. It is something that I, as a neurodivergent, stumbled upon as as a hack for one who is an atypical central nervous system to be able to practice and master the Buddha's teachings. Everybody I've taught this to has said two things. First, it's a bit challenging. It takes a week or two of twice daily practice to get it. But number two, once they do get it, it really, really helps. It demystifies Buddhism. It removes the arduous component. Anybody who tells you you must suffer to accomplish the Buddha's path is either mistaken or deceitful. So let's get to it. Many years ago, I was married, and my former wife was half Bengali. And her dad used to count on the creases of his fingers. Instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, he'd count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I found that intriguing. And so I developed what I call Bengali Crease counting. There are 3 phases. We'll start with phase 1. We'll answer the musical question, how can you count to 16 on merely the 4 fingers and 1 thumb of your left hand? Simple. During each inhalation, by the way, what is a round? A round consists of one inhalation and one exhalation in that order. We can advance our left thumb during each round. So we could count the first inhalation, the second inhalation, the third, the fourth, the fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Well, that's useful. You can count to 16, but as far as timing your meditation, that'll take you maybe 1 to 3 minutes, depending on your rate of respiration. Most of us want to meditate for more than 3 minutes. So the next phase of the journey is counting sets of 16. So on our right hand, we can count 1 set of 16, 2 sets of 16, 3 sets of 16, 4 sets of 16. When we get to 16 sets of 16, that's 256 rounds, which is a healthy start, but it's still less than a half hour. So now we come to the third phase of Bengali Crease counting, which is how our hands interact. And to illustrate that, I'm going to angle the camera of my webcam into my lap non-pornographically. I tend to place my right hand on the bottom and my left hand on top. So up to this point, we've been counting 4 on each finger. Here's a way to count to 5 on the right hand. Begin by touching the tip of this right little finger to the great knuckle at the bottom of the left little finger, like this. So then you get your first repetition. And then you would count 16 more in your left hand, and then you would begin counting upon the right creases. So your 0 set of 16 rounds, then your first, second, third, and fourth. And then you can do the same thing with your ring finger. And then your middle finger. And then your index finger. So counting this way gets you past the 30-minute mark, which is really, really useful. Now, we come to the specter of the second set of 30 minutes. So for that, I go back to the right little finger, and I touch it once again to the back of the left little finger, but this time, instead of touching it to the great knuckle of the base little finger, I touch it to the second knuckle, halfway up the little finger. Now the question is, will this feel weird? Yes, it will. Most things, the first time you do it, don't feel familiar because by very definition, they are the first time you're doing it. I know what it's like to have perfectionistic tendencies. I was raised to have them too. So give yourself permission to play with this. Basically, you're finding ways to meditate without needing to check your alarm. When we meditate, all kinds of things come up. The things that come up are sometimes external or internal or physical or mental or pleasurable or painful or interesting or boring or glorious or grotesque. Stressing over time dilation need not be one of those things. Now, with everything, there's going to be 3 groups of people who hear about Bengali crease counting. The first will think I'm Satan himself, come to drag you to hell. The second will think I'm the second coming of Buddha. And the third just won't care. So the test of a teaching is not what other people think of it. The test of a teaching is not how popular the teaching is or how wealthy or beautiful the teacher is. The test of a teaching are the results it generates when you apply it consistently. So with anything I teach you, apply it once every 12 hours for 7 consecutive days. And then evaluate your results. If your results have undermined your peace and undermined your love, then I might not be the teacher for you. And that's just life. If you find that my techniques increase your peace and increase your love, then you might benefit from working with me. I have no hidden fees. Everything's, I'm on this channel 2 to 4 times a day. Everything I do is free. So I'm not trying to separate you from your sawbucks. So if you've just joined, welcome aboard. When you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. Since today I explained Bengali Crease counting, it is my intention that during this morning's silent meditation, I'll move the cam away from my face towards my hands so you can follow along if you wish. But remember, I'm going to breathe at a different rate than you because my body is different than yours. Everybody's body is different. But hopefully this will give you a sense of context. Let's begin by exercising the neural pathways responsible for both empathy and enthusiasm merely by chanting. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students. Let us play with 8 contemplations of impermanence and interdependence. Half will be verbal and half will be silent, but all of them will be in the format of rhetorical questions. The power of a rhetorical question comes not from actively seeking an answer to the question. It does not come from striving to receive an answer to the question. The true power of a rhetorical question is simply this. If we recite the question in coordination with our inhalation and our exhalation and our relaxation, we make progress on the path. Do not take my word for it. Put it to the test in the laboratory of your own body and mind. Please chant with me. What could it look like if all circumstances or lost blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light that interdependently absorbed into this body or form? This is not an invitation to actively visualize or believe or emote. Simply play with these words. Let them wash over your back like a hot shower at the end of a hard day. We begin with our inhalation into form, and then with our exhalation, how lots melt. Let's chant. What could it feel like if all forms or bodies blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light that interdependently absorbed into this interpersonal communication or speech? What could it sound like if all interpersonal speech blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light that interdependently absorbed into this mind? What could it be like if all minds blissfully and impermanently melted into rainbow light that interdependently absorbed into our vast empty void? We come now to our first of two silent meditations. Awareness and letting go could serve as an antidote to clinging. It is known by many names, such as Great Completion Stage Tantra. And as I promised or threatened, I'm going to transfer the camera to showcase my fingers. So now I incorporate my right thumb. Welcome to the live stream. When you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. During each inhale, we can practice mindfulness by silently and mentally reciting the pronoun this during each inhalation. And we can practice meditation by silently and mentally reciting the 3-syllable verb relaxing during each exhalation. Welcome to this morning's guided meditation. If at any point you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation or Buddhist philosophy or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window, which should be on the right-hand side of your screen. You can practice mindfulness by silently and mentally reciting the pronoun this during your inhalation. And we could practice meditation by silently and mentally reciting the 3-syllable verb relaxing during each exhalation. Having come to the 30-minute mark of our silent meditation, we now prepare for mantra-oriented contemplations. There will be 8 sets. 4 will pertain to the wisdom of letting go, and the first 4 will pertain to love. These contemplations of love and letting go serve as antidotes to hating and are known by many names, such as Generation Stage Tantra. One moment. Let us use love to pole vault or leap over mental competitiveness. May all minds of all beings know be as wise and peaceful as the mind of a Buddha, law symbolized by a one-syllable seed, Beja mantra or clay drop. Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha 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 Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha. Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha. May all relationships of all beings know be as loving and joyful as a real or imagined Buddhist communication symbolized by this 10-syllable mantra. Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha 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 Om Tare Dare Dure Swaha. Let us use physical kindness to leapfrog over our competitive tendencies. May all bodies of all beings now enjoy the beautiful health depicted in Buddhist thought of the blissful body of a yidam of law and archetype of enlightenment. Om Dhare 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 Swaha. 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 May circumstances or lots of all beings now have the safety, good fortune, or boon. As a Buddha's real or a mansion, paradise, per land or vati. Om Dhare Dhare Swaha 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 Om Dhare Dhare Swaha. I'll be right back. Now we're going to leap over our clinging tendencies. As we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our previous inhalation could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a beautiful cloudless morn, which although compelling to the eye is not graspable to the hand. How is it that as we inhale all circumstances our lots could appear quite vivid, yet as we relax into our exhalation they could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined paradise or vati of light? Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. How is it that as we inhale all bodies or forms could feel quite sensual, yet as we relax into our exhalation they could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined archetypal yedam of light? Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha, Om Dhare Dhare Dure Swaha. How is it that as we inhale the interpersonal experience of communication, our speech could be quite resounding, Yet as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined mantra of light. Om Dhare Dure Swaha 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 How is it that as we inhale we could perceive all mind's functions quite clearly? Yet as we relax into our exhalation they could feel as not graspable as a real or imagined seed-syllable tom of light. Om Dhare Dure Swaha 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 We come now to our second and final silent meditation of this early morning session, which is known by many. This bliss in letting go could serve as an antidote to craving and is known by many names, such as completion stage tantra. If at any point during the remainder of this live stream you have a specific question about Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them to your life, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. We can practice mindfulness by silently and mentally reciting the sensual verb feel during our inhalation. And we can practice meditation by silently and mentally reciting the three-syllable verb relaxing during our exhalation. This is probably the easiest and most sustainable way of inviting our subtle energies together at our heart wheel. Or heart chakra, if you please. We're short on time this morning, so now we turn to the moderately spooky Buddhist voodoo shit portion of our practice. May light rays radiate from the syllable hum at my heart, inviting shamatara surrounded by thee. Assembly of lamas, yadams, kandros. Take two. Assembly of lamas, yadams, kadros, and Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and dharmapalas. Gods and demigods bow their crowns at your lotus feet. O liberator from all misfortune, to you, Mother Tara, I bow down. Homage to the noble Lady Tara. Homage to Tara, swift and gallant, whose glass flashes like flares of lightning. Born on the heart of a blossoming lotus that arose from the tears of the triple world's Lord. Homage to her whose countenance is like 100 full moons gathered in autumn, smiling and glowing with brilliant radiance like 1,000 stars clustered ablaze. Homage golden dew lady, lotus hand is graced with a water-born flower, embodying generosity, diligence, endurance, serenity, patience, and meditation. Homage to her whose victories are endless, truly adorning the great Tathagata's crowns. She is well served by the heirs of the victors who have accomplished all the perfections. Homage to her who with tutare and whom fill the desire realms unto the ends of space. She tramples underfoot the 7 worlds and has the strength to summon all. Homage to her praised by Indra, Agni, Brahma, Maruts, and Shiva. Bhutas, Vetalas, Gandharvas, and Yakshas pay tribute to her. Homage to her who would pray and pay Krashi enemies yandras. With right leg decked and left extended, shining, she treads amidst flames wildly blazing. Homage to her who would today this fearsome lady destroys the most powerful demons. With a deep furrowed brow upon her lotus face, she is the slayer of each and every foe. Homage to her whose fingers grace her heart, displaying the mudra of the 3 jewels. Graced by a wheel adorning every direction with a dazzling radiance that overwhelms all. Homage to her supreme joy, a radiant garland that crowns her in splendor. Smiling and laughing with tutare, she brings demons and the world under control. Homage, Mother, able to summon before her all the protectors of the earth. Moving her frowning brow, she saves all from poverty with the sound of whom. Homage Mother, whose crown is a crescent moon blazing with all her ornaments, ever shining with the brilliant light of Amitabha in her braided hair. Homage Mother, residing amidst the garland that blazes like the fire at the end of the world era, right leg extended and left running, annihilating hosts of enemies. Homage Mother, who hits the earth with the palm of her hand and pounds on it with her feet. Frowning wrathfully, she shatters the 7 underworlds by the sound of Hoon. Homage Mother, blissful virtuous calm field, whose field of activity is peaceful nirvana, endowed with the true perfection of Swaha and Om, in perfect union, destroying the great evils. Homage Mother, encompassed by joy, who shatters the bodies of enemies. Savioress manifesting from the awareness of whom, displaying the sounds of the 10 syllable mantra. Homage Judy, stomping her feet, whose seat appears in the form of Hung, shaking Mount Meru Mandara Bunduchal in the triple world. Homage Mother, holding the rapid marked moon, which is like a heavenly lake, dispelling all poison with that sound of paean, the twice spoken Tara. Homage Mother, served by the ruler of the hosts of gods, by the gods and the Kannadas, dispelling conflicts and bad dreams with her armor of joy and splendor. Homage Mother, whose 2 eyes are like the sun and full moon shining with brilliant light, who dispels deadly disease with tutare and twasatudhara. Homage Mother, endowed with the power to pacify by the display of the 3 natural states, destroying the hosts of evil spirits, yakshas, and the walking dead, Ture, most excellent Mother. This is the praise with the root mantra, and these are the 21 homages. Om Amashu, the noble lady, Tara Amashu, Tare, quick one heroine. With Tare, you are the one who banishes all fear. With Ture, the liberator who bestows all benefits, and with Swaha, may it be so. May all my speech forms and lots be as wise, loving, healthy, and fortunate as green heroines wheel or imagine syllable mantra archetype in paradise. May all beings like green heroine master the eightfold path as well as liberate others. May all beings practice of communication, conduct, and commerce flow spontaneous and uncontrived. At the very end of each being's life, may we take immediate and auspicious rebirth, master the Buddha's path, and then help all others do likewise. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. O Queen of Space, Savior of all beings, perfectly pure essence of wind that pervades all. You give birth to all worlds and cause them to flourish, noble lady Tara, I pay homage to you. Lady whose face gleams as white as the autumn moon by pacifying all adversity and affliction, and spontaneously bringing favorable conditions and fulfilling wishes. Generate the wind horse of dissolving the 8 dangers into space. Lady who shines as brightly as the golden sun by eliminating all decadence and poverty, and increasing lifespan, merit, wealth, and renown. Generate the wind horse of expanding prosperity and fortune. Lady who blazes with a luster of red rubies, by dispelling all dependency and misfortune, and bringing the whole apparent world under my control. Generate the wind horse of magnetizing the triple world. Lady who sparkles with blue sapphire brilliance, by repelling all enemies, obstacles, and harm, and granting total victory over all danger and adversity. Generate the winters of overpowering demonic horns. Lady who beams with emerald green light by pacifying all wanted circumstances and accomplishing all aims with auspicious glory. Generate the wind horse of acting on a space-like scale. Om ye dharma he tu prabhava he tunte shantata gato hyavatat te shansayo niroda evam vadi maha shramana swaha. If you feel that I have earned it, you could type something in the chat window. You could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could share it with a friend. You could even help support this channel on Patreon. In approximately 10.5 hours, I would very much like to return to lead this evening's meditation. Until then, may you and yours be happy and healthy. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.